you don't appreciate they're good because they don't have like maybe the craziest game, but you also don't think of them too much because like they're just good standard maps, you know. So Old Republic's kind of in that category where I think it's good, it's solid. I just don't have like a crazy game memory from it where I'm like, oh yeah, that map was so sick or something, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
So yeah, I think yeah, there's a few maps that are like that where I'm like, it's hard for me. I don't have like a way to pick between like 3 or 4 of these maps that are like I just think are very good, would make for good games. Hard to justify not putting them in the ladder.
Yeah.
So
what do you think of the talisman, by the way?
it's that's no good.
Is it no good?
The problem is because it's a bit quirky, right? But because it's already been used in a bunch of tournaments, it's already people are already over it, right? It's not like fun new where it's like, oh, this will be fun to play on for a bit because all the pros at least have already played on it, so no one wants to play it. So I think if you put it in a map pool, it's just gonna get vetoed because like, oh, it's different, but like
it's gonna be like Last Fantasy pretty much.
It's like Last Fantasy, only we don't even get the guys who are like interested in playing something different because it's like they've already played it before. I think. So I think it's just a waste map spot. Something.
Yeah,
I think they met. I don't know. I know it's not been like a TLMC finalist, but I feel like if you've been played in like, I think if a map's been played or been used by like multiple community events, I don't think it should be in a TLMC because it just because the players didn't even want to play. Like everyone wants to play maps they've not seen before.
Yeah.
You know. So. Yeah.
Look at this. Maxpax gambled on the right side. You can either go for the triangle or keep going for the line. Now the line is worse, but it's less likely for there to be an SCV there. And Maxpax gambled that correctly. Imagine if Clem would have gone to the line to block that. That would have been like he would have been the super winner of the meta games. What a gangster.
Super winner.
Yeah, the super. Now he's just like, I mean, still kind of a winner, you know. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you tell Clem that this is the scenario that plays out from his eBay block, he'd be like, all right, where do I sign? Like, this is good, you know. You get you force your opponent on the line. And you block their natural without any problems. Maxpax also was supply blocked on the Adept. So his core actually finished at 158. Which means that the Adept, if it can start instantly, will come out at, 218. But for whatever reason, the second pylon wasn't fast enough. So this Adept actually came out at 222. Which is frustrating because the CC was significantly delayed. So potentially he could have dealt some damage or at least, you know, tried fighting with these Marines a little bit. But right now, the CC is just going to go up. His bunker is going to finish as well. And there's going to be, well, no pain here whatsoever for Clem. This is probably one of the best setups you can have with an eBay block.
Lovely for Clem. A good way to start the series off as that commences and finishes. The Adept tries to get through. And that Maxpax Stargate. Obviously, PvT is a matchup that's really up in the air right now in terms of builds. We're seeing this Stargate kind of come back in a big way, no?
Yeah, it's because of the Cyclone nerf.
Yeah. It's like, it's good enough just to make Stargate openers realistic again.
Yeah, I don't think you automatically die anymore, which is a huge plus for a build order. Like,
yeah,
it's really tough.
Yeah.
To hold like Phoenix or like Colossus, Cyclone Viking pushes when you're going like Phoenixes, because the Cyclones are so freaking good and they're constantly like retargeting whenever they want. Now it's just a little bit weaker, so I think the chance of surviving is a bit higher. You still have the general issues that Phoenix has, which is delayed tech, delayed AoE. If you're playing Colossus, you get like these tank Viking pushes, which are probably going to be even a bit stronger because Vikings are cheaper. So it's really just, yeah, it is definitely an investment and a half. And we'll see how it's going to work out, as Clem seems to be willing to push with something here. You have a tank following this up as well. It's going to be a big Marine push out with a Cyclone. And these Adepts, they're going to need to escape right now because the Cyclone's going to show up soon.
Cyclone cruising. And it's just going to be seen it jumping onto the Adept, and that is going to be 1 kill. So we get a KO, and Clem is moving across to the other side of the map. Clem definitely sticking to a lot of this aggressive stuff early in TVP as well. Are the Phoenix something that can realistically hold a lot of these Marine tank pushes, do you think? Or is that like a danger zone for the Phoenix?
I think it's fine. Like, as long as there's not a lot of Vikings with it, and usually you can make it happen. But I like what Clem is doing here as well. There's a recall going to be available in the main base, and Phoenixes, of course, can always catch a medevac. So the moment you fly in, it's just very, very scary for this medevac. This medevac is gonna die. Maybe a couple of Marines manage to run away here, but no, I don't think they will. Look at that. Very neat pickup here for Maxpax, saving up a lot of his Phoenixes. And now, yeah, that's definitely paying off. He's gonna go for 2 base charge, forge, 4 gas, 4 gate, Templar Archives. I've seen a lot of builders in my life, Wardy.
That's definitely one of them.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's something different for sure. You know, it keeps it fresh. So one of the problems with getting a lot of production before a third base is that you get a very kind of an awkward situation in which you have enough workers or more workers than you have space for. So you're just going to be oversaturating for a long time, and you're losing a lot of mining time as well. So it is neat that you manage to get some control with the Phoenixes, but you're just lacking in eco, and you're also lacking in added infrastructure. So you got like 4 gate into Nexus, and then you probably need another worker cut to get your extra gateways in. So it's just pretty awkward. I think this is just a very awkward situation right now for Maxpax, and he needs to get his storm out ASAP. And these storms are going to need to be very good as well, because he's going to be relying a lot on them.
Yeah, so despite the surprise factor of the Phoenix and the medevac, still a lot of clunkiness back in the rest of the build order, and Clem is obviously a moment away from being Stimmin, combat shielded, +1 in, so he's going to be powerful on the map soon. Obviously, Storm is halfway done, so it should be ready by the time we take any kind of a fight here, realistically. But then the question is, how many Storms do you have? Is Storm good enough nowadays? Like, is that damage output enough to truly keep some of these Clem units back? So that's what we'll be seeing soon, as these Phoenix are taking some attention of Clem, but he's also still waiting on a couple of upgrades to finish, so he's not wasting too much time. He's going to start losing a couple of units. These Marines not in good enough numbers. 2 of the 3 get back to the bunker. Mine's trying to burrow, but yeah, the Phoenix just shutting off some reinforcements, making this difficult. With the Phoenix out of position, Clem loads up medevacs and actually goes for the drop to the main base, and that could be really cool, because there's not really a lot of drop defense. He's actually just going to unload and run into the natural. Same idea, same concept, going to work just as well, as this base has not too many probes on it, but the ones that are here, they're gone.
Yeah, that's -10 probes right there. He's probably going to try and fly over to the third base right now, or he's just going to stand here and fight. One medevac will go down. It's the empty one. The second medevac is also going to get taken out, but 4 Marines do manage to escape out of it. Mines get lifted. Zealots coming in from multiple angles as the batteries are helping these probes survive for now. Templar are here. GG gets called.
That was not the GG I was expecting, I'm not going to lie. I thought he did enough, to be honest.
48 to 46. 45 to 46 workers. 97 to 104 supply. He's kind of overestimating. He's going to lose his entire army. Doesn't have a third base and is 5 racks.
He just maybe loses too much or something. Especially if you have 5 racks as well, so much of it's about keeping going.
It's going to be pure Marine as well. It's like naked racks. Yeah, it feels preemptive, but it's probably okay.
It's what I think it's one of those GGs where it's like in 30 seconds you're like, yeah, that makes more sense. It's just the fight wasn't even done yet, you know. Like we're still fighting. So from our point of view, it just
yeah. I really think the win rate there is going to be less than like it's going to be in like the very low single digits, like 2-3% win rate. I think from this position.
You think just not enough units in the right places? Obviously, you get like a good drop on that natural, but then not enough kind of collected together to really deal with the zealots. That just overwhelming, so everything else falls apart quickly.
Yeah, I think a mistake as well is to drop to the third base. So imagine he walks into the natural, then runs into the main.
Yep.
It kind of does 2 things. Like the main has, like you can run into it. You couldn't run to the third base because that's where the main army is, right? So you can run there. You don't have to pick up, which means you keep your DPS even as Phoenixes show up. And you force the entire army to chase you. If they want to send the main army, which is the way that Maxpax decided to deal with it, right? He followed with the entire army. And then the army at the third is going to be much more efficient too because there's nothing there. So they, the Maxpax needs to run back over there. So I think that was probably a mistake. Because now you just gave up 2 medevacs for free, and all you got was 4 Marines out on the third base, which is not really worth it. And you dragged the main army there already as well. So even if you get 0 kills in the main base, it still would have been better to fly there. But of course, it's very simple to say that because we know how it went. Like if Clem manages to get the drop-off in the natural or in the third base, he's going to be in a great spot, right? Like because then you have units behind the probes there. There's an army in front of it as well. But it's like a matter of like 1 or 2 seconds where it's just slightly too late. Then you lose everything before it unloads. Yeah, then it freaking sucks.
Yeah, big game changer. As we get settled in for game number 2 now then. Reaper on the way on the opening from Clem. Cybercore building down from Maxpax on the other side of the map. And you see how the SCV pulling back. Next is building, and yeah, a few moments to see where we go to. As Clem. Yeah, a lot of this TVP right now is still very scrappy, very kind of fighting over the early stages, especially between Maxpax and Clem. All the games they played yesterday were very feisty, like, you know, let's get to it within 10 minutes games. You know, we're not seeing any of these longer macro drawn out scenarios, so kind of interesting. I'm not sure if that was what I was really expecting for TVP.
I think Storm is still strong enough where Terran is going to be struggling against it. Like very much so. And one of the issues with Storm is that it just allows you to really explode your mid-game eco. And as there's no new real mid-game tools for Terran, I think that will remain the same. So
yeah,
the one thing that does change is that Terran has less incentive to move out on the map due to Ghost being just stronger overall, right? So I think you create a scenario where it is more worthwhile for Terrans to try and stay until kind of the early stages of the late game hit, rather than try and go for like an all-out desperation push once you get Ghost. So I think that is the only real difference. But I think Storm is still good enough where you can just very consistently play it against Terran in a very similar manner. But it's hard to say if it's true. Like it's still very new as well, and Terrans are getting used to how the Storm works. Tosses are getting used to how the Storm works. Like how often have we seen Terrans walking out of the Storm and then walking back in because they think it's going to expire? Same thing with Tosses, right? They'll cast the Storm and then they run through it with their entire army. It's like, what the hell? This thing is still on? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's there's definitely an adjustment period still going on.
Yeah.
A lot of that kind of intrinsic kind of idea of like, oh yeah, I sit back and like, I cast this storm and then I'm going to send my army through and go do something else. And it's like, oh no, I sent my army through that storm that's still there now that, beforehand was just going to be gone. So there's a lot of the relearning of the timing. As Maxpax is going to up the ante in this game with the 3 extra gateways. So we are 4 gates, linking it up.
No. Wardy, come on.
Oh?
Look at the natural. You think he's going to finish this thing?
I didn't see what the gateways are. Just look at the production tab.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know, watch.
Yeah. Bleh.
I just looked at the production tab after listening to you talk Storm to me,
It's fine. It's fine. We all make mistakes. Okay.
I actually thought he was going to cancel the robo and just forget.
Thank God you didn't finish that sentence. Like, I guess there will be no prism here. Ooh, it's kind of a risky move out of Maxpax. He believes he could do something that I don't think he can. He loses 2 Stalkers for free. No, 1 Stalker's going to actually get back. But still, that was crazy. Odd maneuvering out of Max. It is very rare to see him go for 3-gate blink against double gas openers, by the way. He doesn't do this very frequently. He prefers playing the observer stuff against this. Like just getting a quick observer and then maybe move with some stalkers across. But like this, it's pretty rare. Prism is going to scout this move out. Immortal immediately start. Maxpax might get supply blocked soon though. 66 out of 70 right now. Needs to get that new pylon in. Blink has finished up. There is an insane marine count over here.
No. I was really worried he's about to start chasing that Reaper Hellion a bit further and then be real out of position for this the rest of this army showing up. As we're going to start taking this trade, a force field that will not really change too much of anything. Banshee is going to get a shot on a Stalker that gets a kill as well. And we're going to be able to start sieging this tank up very far forward. Now we do get 1 Immortal out, but we've got double tank siege. Battery going to go down before it really does any healing at all. And yeah, that position is obviously going to be brutal. We are going to come in from the other side with Stalkers as well, so that's the flank we're looking for to try and save the day as Maxpax. But he's going to lose the robo, he's going to lose the gateway, and there's nothing more he can get from those structures. As Clem is very much so in position. The Stalker's looking to cut off some reinforcements. It's looking dire on the natural.
Yeah, it's looking very poor on the natural. Prism's going to help out these 3 Stalkers. Will kill 1 tank. We'll kill 2 out of the 3 Marines. We get some pickup micro as well. At the same time, Maxpax is losing 6 workers already. Clem doesn't have a second barracks. No, he does have a second barracks behind him, but it's not really doing anything. No eBay either. No SCV production. So this is fairly all in. But I feel like he's already done his damage. Like, even if this were to fail right now, this is absolutely great here for Clem. And I don't really see it failing, to be honest. 2 tanks are still active. There's no Immortals to help out. The flanking prism will not be capable of intercepting this tank, so a 3rd tank is going to show up as well. More SCVs coming in here too. You get a big blink forward, but yeah, 2 tanks still in the back. Banshee's gonna go down. 1 Banshee stays alive as Maxpax gonna be forced to tap out.
Then SCV's just repairing a tank there as well, just keeping it alive, just for a little bit more salt in the wounds, because at this point it was truly pretty much just done, I think. When you got those 2 tanks and there's clearly not enough stalkers, just overwhelm them. Yeah, very nicely done. That is going to be GG, and we get ready for game 3 with it all tied up here in this finals.
Yeah, all tied up.
TV Mondays. It's been a long time since we've had a Clem Maxpax final as well.
Give me the stats, mister.
I'm trying to find out, actually.
See if I can find it fast.
Clem. It's been since March.
March?
Yeah, since March, since we had a Clem Maxpax final.
Really? I feel like it used to be so freaking common. I guess they still play in other tournaments in the finals sometimes.
Yeah, I mean they play in the semis of this one a fair amount as well. There's been 9 finals with Clem Maxpax, but yeah, it hasn't been one since March. So.
Wow, look at that, huh?
Yeah.
Very unique
like
situation.
I say, they definitely play in the semis a fair amount too. So.
They've only played twice before in 2025. 3 times before. 3 times before. So this is the 4th time. It's like a quarterly thing.
It's kind of wild, actually, no.
Yeah. I really thought they would play more frequently. Because they always participate.
Yeah, I mean, Clem hasn't played the last... Clem quit for the patch, basically, so...
That is true.
Yeah, he didn't play for a little while, but still, like, I mean, they play in, like, all of the other ones still.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Game
Ooh, Maxpax pauses the game.
He's like, you heard you say misclick?
How the hell do you misclick the pause button?
He just accidentally whacks his keyboard in the upper right area and hits pause, like...
How do you... I am very confused.
He's got some really terrible hotkeys, I don't know.
His pause button is the middle scroll wheel. We waxed the mouse too hard. What is this?
Definitely interesting. Did not have that on my bingo card.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you would accidentally do that. That is difficult. Where is your pause hotkey? It's next to F12, right?
It's even further than that. It's like 3 along.
Okay, yeah.
F12. Like, there's a button that actually just says pause on the keyboard.
Yeah, I have the same, but I have like a custom keyboard, so I can't remember what it's like on regular keyboard.
Yeah, it's like, it is like the most top right button on my keyboard, especially if you have like no numpad. So like, if you're like maybe like doing something like putting something down, like a drink down, and like your arm hits the corner of the keyboard, maybe. Or like you micro your mouse and you just throw your mouse instead of keeping hold of it, and it hits. I don't know. What were your favorite TLMC maps? You didn't tell me what your...
I really liked Old Republic. I need to look at the map plus the name to like kind of remember. I'm not great at that, but overall the vibes on the maps were really good. Like,
yeah,
I actually didn't mind Talisman that much. I thought it was kind of cute. Like it's a bit different. It was quite aggressive.
It's unplayable though.
Sorry?
It's unplayable in some matchups.
Yeah, like I didn't mind playing it, but I feel like I wouldn't play it in any series against Terran. I felt like Terran was quite good on it.
Yes, Terran, because Terran just sit behind, like, if you try and go to one of the better bases, the Terran just sit behind the other base and just, you're dead.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It sometimes really sucks. It's that you can't have, like, very matchup-specific maps. It's one of the things I wish we really had in StarCraft, where the map count becomes so big that you can have, like, a map that is completely fine for one matchup and blows in, like, all other matchups. And then it's just cool. Like, even if it's just like a mirror matchup, like, you can play this in ZVZ. It's like, okay, that's freaking sick. I mean, you need like an insanely large map pool then, obviously, so it's not super realistic, but...
But what if you just have 8 maps and then what the final map slot is matchup dependent?
Ooh. But then you need to know ahead of time that it's like really...
Yeah, I mean, you make it a thing. You're like, hey guys, this is going to be our TVZs, TVP, whatever map, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this type of stuff I think is like, at least interesting to think about. But it's, I think execution is going to be very difficult on these types of things.
Yeah.
Okay. Philosophically interesting. Okay, we get a robo out. Third gate. I mean, this was a, once again, it was a double gas, right? Out of Clem, or am I? No, yeah, it was. So double gas out of Clem, double Reaper, single Hellion, into double Mine Drop plus Barracks. Kind of expecting a Raven follow-up as well. Could still go into Banshees. He takes a third refinery here too. We could just see a very similar push once more behind all of this.
Yeah, just like Marine, tank Banshee, get some power going, get on the map early. Try and take those positions. Clem's had a lot of success with it. It's definitely seeming like one of his more successful builds in this last few days of TVP that he's played. So, we'll see what he wants to do. I mean, seems kind of expected as the Banshee will start. Robo facility coming from Maxpax. He's obviously playing that Blink again. And getting his extra gases ready on the natural. So again, he's playing 4 gas before he takes a third base. Does this keep him a lot safer against this aggressive push of Clem? Or does it still just come down to how well positioned Clem can be?
I mean, if you take a third base, it's going to be much harder, yeah. But the main thing is going to be kind of the kiting, is when you figure out what the hell's going on. And just kiting off as many Marines as possible. So the main way you usually want to play is you're somewhat across the map with your Stalkers. And you kite, and then midway through the map, you move to like the left side or the right side, and then you start picking off reinforcements with your initial Stalker army. You have like an Immortal plus 3-4 Stalkers at home that can hold on for a little bit, and you kind of crush it from 2 sides. Like, that is going to be the main setup majority of the time. So as long as you start over here, that is good news. Like, Maxpax gonna have 7, 8, maybe 9 freaking Stalkers, and the way for Clem to now move across the map, I think, is just going to be by getting a Banshee behind.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As the Temple Archives is coming through, so that's where Maxpax heads to. And Clem, that's going to add an extra barracks on as well. Protecting his bunker for the moment. We'll see the Prism trying to get the Stalkers around so we can maybe get a couple of SCVs. Aiming for those right now. We get a couple. 3, 4, not bad, 5.
This is extremely bad for Clem. Like,
this is crazy.
Yeah. I think Clem really wanted to go for a push out. And just as he realized, never mind, I don't want to anymore, let me get Stim in combat, he just loses like 11 workers. So now the only thing he kind of can do is go for a push out. But it's, yeah, I just don't really see it working. Banshee show up in the main base. 3 Stalkers plus Observers show up as well, though. And this Banshee is actually not even going to be capable of escaping. Getting 4 kills, 5 kills total, which is decent. But after losing 11 SCVs earlier, it's not going to be great. Second Banshee now shows up over on the third base. Might get 2 or 3 kills, but I don't think much more than that.
Yeah, gonna find 2 pretty quickly, so maybe there's some opportunity there. As the Stalker Star step around, we'll find a third. He actually stays on this right side. The Observer's coming from the left, so actually gives you the chance for an extra kill or 2. As we'll sit and try and hit a pylon, but realistically we should just sit in between and just try and be a threat for later.
Yeah, the problem with the Banshee, though, is that it does kind of gain energy, right? Oh, and he's even out of position here. The Banshee is actually going to just fall. Just going to straight up die. Clem is going to move out right now, but Stim isn't done for another 40 seconds. Combat Shield, really the same story. SCVs are being pulled off the line. This feels like a very awkward push with Barracks 4 and 5 behind it as well. I mean, this is extremely all-in. I think he wants to hit pre-Storm, but that's not possible anymore because Storm just finished, or is about to finish. Like, as long as you get 1 or 2 decent storms, actually just 1 decent storm is going to be good enough, because there's no stim, there's no combat, there's not even a single medevac, so it's just going to be tough as hell. Like a single storm on top of these Marines should pretty much be the end over here.
We are going for the Stormless defense just to really rub it in.
Yeah. I think he had no energy.
Need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped it out a couple of times. There's no way he wouldn't have dropped it if he had it, but
maybe his plan was to like feedback a medevac, and then there was no medevac. It's like, whoa, that's nice. Yeah, very one-sided game.
Yeah, just it's all going well, and then 4 stalkers find the access, and there's no defense to it, and that's too many workers lost. You can't let that happen.
I think even before though, like if you're playing a 2-gas opener as a Terran, most of the time you're going to need to deal some serious damage, and there just was no damage at all. Like what did he kill with the Reaper Hellion? Nothing, and then the mine drop got like what 2 workers or something. Like that's what you get with a late mine drop usually as well. And the point of the 2-gas is you get lower eco, you lose 3-4 workers, lose mule timing as well, so just down a crap ton of minerals. If you don't like do anything back to the toss, yeah, life is just gonna be, well, impossible. And then losing the workers is the nail in the coffin, obviously.
Well, we go to Pylon for map 4, as Maxpax will take the lead. He's looking to win his 4th Monday Cup in a row, so he's a map away from 4 in a row. Something only him and Clem have done before. That sets you up to maybe break it next week and win 5 in a row, obviously. So big moment right now. Maxpax not here for the money, clearly here for the prestige.
Yeah. You think he'll get the prestige?
No, I think he'll lose next week to Hero. Just random prediction, but
I mean, it's possible. Out of the situations that are likely to happen, it is definitely one of the situations.
It's one of the things that could happen for sure. Yeah.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's it can definitely take place.
Wow. Clem not going to go for anything aggressive here in the early game. I wonder what his plan is going to be. This has to be pretty depressing because it just feels like he's just been getting beat up by the opponent. Like Maxpax just seems like he's like better right now when it comes to the actual macro games. Or at least he's winning more. Like, don't want to talk about balance. We could just call it that. 2 gases coming out. Yeah. Maxpax seems very secure in his early games as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's the beauty of it, right? If you can really get through that early game still, I think we're still in some good positions for the next stage of the game. And Maxpax has clearly shown he's comfortable to go there. And if you do get there, which, again, he's very capable of, then brilliant. You're set up for success.
Absolutely. Ooh. Well, started a Zealot for a bit. Cancelled it. Didn't want to deal with a potential eBay block. I guess he didn't know it was double gas quite yet. Ooh. Locked in with the Reaper now. Factory's gonna come down here as well. And this probe most likely is gonna die. You can recall it. He will recall it. Which I think is just the correct play.
Yep.
Like, economically.
I saw someone do the math. That's what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, the only problem is that you lack the fast chrono boost on the first unit. So now Clem, like, he's running across the map because he knows this first adept is gonna be a bit later. He's like, okay, maybe, I can get a probe here. I don't know how well that works out. I think it's going to be too tight here. 5 seconds. Maybe you get 1 hit on a probe. No. Yeah. Nothing's happening here. Clem tried. Ran across. Maybe on a smaller map, you can get like a couple of shots on the probe before. And then, if you get the probe kill, then it's fine. But yeah, he didn't. Battery comes up. Twilight Council, Stalker, Warp Gate. On the other hand, we have single Reaper, low ground. Command center. This is considered a significant risk in the world of StarCraft. You're not actually allowed to do this because adepts can run across and deal serious damage. You don't have enough tools to really deal with it majority of the time. So we'll see if that's what Maxpax is going to do. His second Stalker stays home. That's a pretty big deal. Reaper's going to barely survive as well. You think that thing is going to catch up? It might, right? It will. Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless the grenade is perfect, but it's really hard to hit that grenade perfectly.
Yeah. Who do you think is the best grenader? Who has done it the most in your mind?
What, saving themselves from the adept?
Yeah.
I think Clem's got to be up there. Bjorn?
I think it's Nicorect.
Nicorect is actually very good with the grenade timing.
Yeah. He's the only person that done it more than twice against me. And he's been playing competitively for a much shorter amount of time. Which makes it even more impressive. Like, he's had less time and he's doing it more frequently. It's a very trainable skill instinct as well, right?
Yeah.
There's like a custom map in which you can practice it.
I just thought it was like so precise that it was just like a bit of RNG anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, Printf could do it very consistently in his own custom map.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's such a niche scenario. I wonder how worth it is that the tracks for like hours to figure it out. But, this is a serious drop, by the way.
Yeah, this is a serious job. He's going to kill that Stalker with the Widowmine. He already killed one with the Marines initially, so 4 probes.
Yeah, crazy.
And that is an extremely successful opening. 2 Stalkers, 4 probes, and a bunch of Marines stay alive. And guess what? Now the push is coming. And this is not going to look too pretty. This is a little bit of similar to what happened to kind of Hero earlier on as well. So, yeah, it's you let that first bit of damage come through, and then Clem's already on the front doorstep, and it all starts to go wrong. Blink is only just now finished. We're going to lose the pylon. Powering the Robo, the battery will save it, but not in time to get the Prism out. We will just jump onto this, and obviously we're very quick to get rid of the siege tank. We're going to lose a lot of probes, but we will get the cleanup on the army. But 11 probes down. Clem will be up by 8, and is in no rush to do anything else. Maxpax kind of has to run across the map and just try and take advantage of the fact that, hey, I just cleaned the army out. Maybe I can get something done with these Stalkers now that they have Blink, even if Prism is still delayed.
Yeah, it's going to be a very major maybe, though, because 2 tanks are out already. There's a Viking here, too, and the Stalker count isn't high enough, I don't think. So Clem didn't siege up his 1 tank that was out already, though. So that's going to allow Maxpax to at least get a kill here on 1 SCV. But if Clem started barracks after the push concluded, that would have been quite bad for him. And maybe I see a future for Maxpax. But this barracks was like 60-65% done already while the push was going on. And ooh, we're going to get a big blink forward. There's only a single tank on the low ground. Maxpax is making some stuff happen over here. That was wild.
Yeah. He's making stuff happen, but you're still 10 probes behind. So you've got a long way to go and a lot more to do. I mean, these are like the baby steps of maybe being able to kind of stay in this, but there's a lot more work to be done as he gets a few Stalkers to the left. The tank hit them once. He'll try and deny the refinery, but maybe all he gets there. But then you're going to try and go into the main at the same time. Let's see if that could be a success. The tank's very far back. Those Stalkers have no chance of getting close to it.
Oh, 1 Stalker even goes down. I mean, a couple of Stalkers can at least attack this starport, which is neat. We get 3 more Stalkers here as a warp in. I think Clem realized that something is happening. Unsieges the tank as we get a big blink for it. That was probably the worst timing to unsiege that tank. As some good micro here with those Stalkers. 3 more get up into the main base. New tank pops as well. Can it siege up? Is there enough damage output here out of the Marines? I think the answer is going to be yes. Another blink in forward as the SCVs get pulled. But overall, this trade was fantastic for Clem. Viking is out now, and that means the end of this Prism. And the end of the Prism means the end of these Stalkers as well.
Yeah, they are all doomed. They're going to try and make the most for themselves, but the reality is they are going down. Every single one dies, and now it's a 9-worker lead and a massive army supply lead. And Maxpax will not even make Clem come across the map and stim at him. He'll just say GG, and Clem will take us to Game 5. As we really do just stay super aggressive here in this TVP. And 5th map to decide today's champ.
Yeah. What is the map going to be? Have a guess.
I don't know. They didn't tell me. I don't even know what we've had.
Oh, too late.
I wouldn't have guessed Machinata.
Yeah, me neither.
Into my head.
The Terrans really seem to
say
dislike
Tokamak.
Persephone these days.
70, yeah. I like that map as well. That was a really cool map we got in the map pool.
Yeah, I love Persephone personally. I think it's a good
great
one.
map.
So the vetoes were Torches, Persephone, Last Fantasy, and Incorporeal? No, we saw. Did we see Incorporeal?
I think that's vetoed, no? We went Ultra Love Ley Lines to
Yeah,
start,
okay. So the vetoes would be Incorporeal, Persephone for Clem, and then Torches and Last Fantasy for Maxpax, is what I reckon.
Yeah.
Incorporeal is so hard for Terran because you can't get a Reaper in. It's so simple for toss to defend stuff. Like, there's never like a secondary threat, really. And it's also tough to scout, so yeah. If you want to play 2 gas, that's not the map. And Clem so far has been... Oh! It's Proxy Rax.
Proxy Rax to go for map 5. Clem is not going to give 2 doodles about what everyone else thinks. He's just going to proxy it up and go try win this. Oh no, what is a big map as well? Like, Maganath is not a small map to proxy on, no?
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't matter if you send your SCVs early enough, you know? It's going to be just single barracks. He's going to put it behind the main base, or the natural, I think.
Be very sneaky.
Yeah.
Alright, sneaky opening from Clem. Barracks goes down. High risk as well, no? Like, Maxpax scouts for it, you get it denied, it throws you into a really weird position super early in the game.
Yeah, but
He's gonna
Maxpax
get
is
away
not
from
much
it.
of a behind the natural type of scouter, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs across the map
Know
big
what he
time.
does.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just doesn't scout around because he just wants the... Like, it's a bit risky to do, right? Because you get your main info later. So you're going to get the most consistent game if you always send it across.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Maxpax, in almost every matchup, just always wants the most consistent game. Because he thinks he's the best in a consistent game. And honestly, he makes a pretty decent case for that in this series and in all the other series that he plays. So he's now going to scout. He sees the lack of a barracks. And it's kind of scary because you don't exactly know what's going on. You could start a zealot. But, ooh, the Nexus went down. Ooh. But if the barracks is like a fake hidden barracks, you don't really want to have a zealot. So the main goal for Clem here is to get the bunker up. He's going to get it next to the pylon.
Yep, creates that little wall, so the SCV, in theory, can go to the other side and not be hit by the probe every single time. But that's a lot of damage on the SCV early as well. Probe actually gives up on it now, and SCV will get back to building.
Yeah, you need double batteries against this, by the way. Reaper is running into the main? No way. That was a significant error, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's because that's going to delay the bunker coming up, which didn't need to happen, and then now it won't come up.
Oh, Clem is just immediately giving up on his plan. Oh, that was kind of sad, honestly. I really thought this could work. There was only a single battery out, which is not enough if you have double Reaper plus SCV. You even get a cancel on the battery. Like, Maxpax is getting away with freaking murder over here. Follow-up will be Starport at home and a Hellion. Low ground CC as well. I mean, this is... I don't want to say this is as bad as it gets, because it could have gone much worse here for Clem, but this is definitely not good.
It's in the direction of, like, based on the fact that, like, the barracks got up and everything, like, it did head in pretty much the worst direction possible from that point on.
Yeah.
Be in trouble as this Stalker tries to get in after this barracks. We'll chase it a bit further down towards the center. A couple of Reapers in the Hellion will come back up, and they will try and go after that Stalker as well. Just going to swing at it and put some good damage out to the negative of not having the battery, as you can't save the Stalker. That's a Reaper for Stalker, and we'll get into the main base to be annoying as well.
That's a very reasonable trade here for Clem. As he gets one more worker as well, probably gets one more. Nope, he won't. Good control there out of Maxpax. Well done. Second gate comes down on the low ground, but by the time that CC finishes and the orbital is done, Maxpax is going to be up like 7-8 workers. A very neat scenario here, or a very nice thought for Maxpax, is that it can only be two things. It's either going to be a like defensive cyclone into mine drop, or it's just going to be a straight up mine drop into like a defensive cyclone or a defensive tank, because the barracks was all the way on the side of Maxpax, which means there's not going to be any reactored marines at home. So a 1-1-1 tank push is impossible. Like, you know, this is just 100%, like, it's just, you can't do it because there's no marines. Like, imagine Clem was gonna go with 2 tanks right about now, or in like 20 seconds for now. There would be 1 medevac, 2 tanks, and then 2 marines from the barracks that have newly been constructed. So all you need to know as Maxpax is that there's going to be some threat by air that will not deal any real damage. It's just going to go for probes. So yeah, it's one of the most relaxing things to have as a Protoss when you deal with this, and the barracks is so far on your side of the map.
Stalker is on an adventure. I don't think he's going to have a happy ending.
No, he died. That is the opposite of a happy ending, Wardy.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't think he's going to have a happy ending.
Yeah, well, he didn't. He died.
Yeah, so I'm correct. You're
Yeah,
saying it as though I said something stupid.
No, it's just a bit brutal, no, to the Stalker.
A bit brutal?
Yeah.
StarCraft. We don't have time to mess around with emotion.
That's true. Raven. Barracks, siege tank coming in. 45 workers at 37. Now, the one thing that is kind of neat here for Clem is that Maxpax didn't take a fast third base. So there's not going to be an insane amount of pressure here on Clem to do something. It's going to come in with the drop right now. I think Blink has finished up. Is that first mine is going to die. Second mine is barely not going to die. 2 volleys with 3 Stalkers, of course, not enough to kill that. 4 Stalker Prism goes into the main base. This time will not quite be as successful as we have a tank ready over there. Oh, slightly out of position. But yeah, 2 SCVs go down. 4 Stalkers remain alive. Medevac manages to escape. Overall, a pretty decent trade here for Maxpax. I think he's going to be happy with this. He didn't lose anything, and he didn't lose too much to the mine. Now also kills the Medevac. That is very painful. So Clem goes for a 3rd base.
Yeah,
I think we might see an actual game here, Wardy.
Yeah, I'm like, it actually feels like we're going to see a proper game of TVP, which is being kind of absent in this series and kind of, you know, in the last couple of TVPs, and especially in Clem TVPs, it's been very absent in general. So we get ourselves a chance to get there. Obviously, it's not a guarantee. You never know when a couple of things just happen suddenly, but we'll see how it goes as we do deny the Prism from doing much else. Obviously, Clem's 3rd is halfway done, so we're getting very close to that. And the Raven will also get into some harassing positions here, try and slow down some economy and get some probes and just try to add on and total up some workers over time.
What else is this observer doing? Look at the freaking path that this guy is taking.
Yeah, he wants some absolutely guaranteed info in the back here.
Yeah, there's no way that Clem will find that. If he scans this, that would be insane. Like, who's paying attention there right now? Double auto turret comes in. It's going to target down a Zealot, but the Zealot just walks away. A very good plan when faced with 2 auto turrets. I feel like the battery did a good job keeping it alive as well, as the Stalkers are now on a hunting mission. Can you hide in the left corner? No, you can't. I wasn't even aware of that fact. Ooh, if Maxpax had continued hunting, they actually would have gotten that Raven. As Clem is opting for the surround here. Maxpax blissfully unaware of it right now. She's going to remain blissful for a second, though.
Yep, he's going to see it now, and he obviously has a chance to blink the other way. He blinks upwards. That stim on the right side group of units from Clem was unnecessary. Doesn't do anything for him. Tries to play catching, but he just isn't going to get there. So, good getaway from Maxpax. Just about sees it in time, as we're going to be in this moment where Clem has a good amount of units, but obviously with Storm out, you start having these interesting moments of can we trade, can we not trade. Maxpax coming forward, so we are going to see a fight first. Storm comes down, Clem backs away, doesn't take too much damage. We'll get some healing done on this army, but obviously can't continue in that area as the Prism now heads toward the main base at the same time. Marine, Marauder, Viking all coming through, and we're going to be unloading towards the main. There's Marines there, but they're not realizing it in time. We still get the Prism pretty quickly, and some other units show up, so that's actually a pretty good defense overall.
Yeah, this is as good as I thought it could get for Clem defensively. He also hasn't lost walking into 17 storms, so it's also as good as it could have gone here for him aggressively. Robobay is the follow-up before a 4th base. That shows that Maxpax doesn't feel comfortable in this game, and honestly, he shouldn't be feeling comfortable in this game. This is an uncomfortable game for him. These Zealots now are almost gonna get caught. We get a stim with this full army. That is a lot of HP that will be removed from this force and only catches a single Zealot for it. Maxpax is aggressively posturing here, wants to do something, but I don't think he can, as these Templar are taking a lot of damage against the tanks. Don't forget that the Templar -1 range, it makes it much harder to attack into this type of thing, as the tanks have now unsieged. Maxpax once again moving in further forward, gets a feedback on the Raven. Tanks out of position to defend the 3rd base, though. The Zealot flank comes in from the left.
Yeah, I mean, if those tanks get sieged, though, those High Templar are going to get blasted, and 2 of them do go down, so the issue is always going to be if the tanks get in position. And brilliant, there's 1 High Templar on that left side that'll get involved. Clem taking the chance to get some damage done on the right side. Did move through that storm initially, but then has to move back through it again, which is going to be the problem. And some back and forth. Both sides of these armies taking different levels of hits. Clem really struggling for medevacs and just healing energy. Like, he's got a lot of low HP units there. Does grab that observer. And, yeah, just a little scary when you're low HP like this, because you're going to have to drop another stim to be able to fight. Reinforcements are a little bit far back. We're trying to target fight down the High Templar. 1 or 2 storms come in. We EMP, but we don't get all of it. And there's 1 more storm left, and that storm's still there. Clem standing in it, and that's low HP units.
I wonder why Clem started building Vikings so early. He went up to 4 Vikings insanely quickly. Like, he only lost the 1 medevac earlier. So he went 2 medevac into 4 Viking. I don't know if he expected much quicker Colossus behind this. Or maybe... But this felt weird. Because his entire army was just super low. Just kind of overstimmed. Like, we saw a couple of very aggressive stims out of Clem as well, where his supply position before was very good. Right now it's not feeling as great. Let's not forget that pre-patch Clem would have 7 more supplies, or actually 9 more supplies. He has 9 ghosts already. So this army does pack quite a punch. Like, it is a good army. But at the same time, Zealots once again running into the natural. As EMP hits his own orbital command as well. No more meals for you, my dear friend. Yeah, without tanks, I think this is just going to be tough.
Yeah, there's no zone control that he really remains with, right? He's just trying to find EMPs. Storms are kind of dictating where he can and cannot go. Maxpax's army is not overly powerful. I mean, a few EMPs correctly placed on this right side, and it's going to melt away, and there are a lot of ghosts, as you mentioned, so there's a lot of EMPs available. Clem is dealing with the left side now, and he's going to be able to even expand out to his 4th base, so he's going to survive. Maxpax starts to head home. We'll get to another phase of this game, as Clem will maybe be able to get a chance to start some upgrades. He does exactly that with 2-2 now on the way. And obviously starts to build up Vikings again because now he's got a few more medevacs. He actually does need to make sure he's got enough Vikings to push the Colossus back and keep them at bay at every point of time.
Very true. Prism's gonna head into the main base. For now, the Prism is empty as 3 Zealots hit the 3rd. They are gonna die. The main base will activate with 6 Zealots in the SCV lines. The main army moves in between bases.
Ooh.
Ghosts are getting sniped here. Whoa.
Yeah, that was just a little move command from Clem. Like, he just wasn't quite controlling his army properly. I mean, it's going to become a weird fight. If Clem had just EMP'd properly with those ghosts and kind of engaged properly with that army on that right side, this looks very different, I think. Because Clem had a decent wraparound possibility, but like, he just really moved up and lost so much so quickly. Bam. Maxpax 3-2.
Yeah, it felt like a risky move out of Maxpax, but it worked out in the end. He knew that Clem wanted to run into the main base to deal with that Prism threat, and he was there, man, to receive those ghosts with open arms and fat lasers in their face.